All right, let's give this another shot. Another Origin Swiss draft. So we're in queue. Be back when it shoots. All right, looks like we're about to fire. All right, Tragic Arrogance. That is going to be my pick. It is a sweeper. It is a bomb. It's in white, which is the strongest color. It's pretty much fantastic in 7 different ways. Other cards in this pack that I'd be okay first picking would be Wild Instincts, Claustrophobia, maybe even Throwing Knife. Again, they have a theme. They're all removal. If you saw my last draft, you'll know that I first picked an Eyeblight Assassin, but that was an accident. I don't think that's a first pick card. Tragic Arrogance definitely is, though. It is double white, so I'm hoping white comes to me. But again, that's a heavily fought over color. But you just don't pass Tragic Arrogance, pack 1, pick 1. All right. Well, white dried up dramatically quickly for us. So coming through here, the rare is the Great Aurora, which just isn't a very good card in limited. Leaf Gilder is going to be my pick. It's the best card in the pack. It's in green, which, automatically I'm going into a second color. But we can see that it looks like an uncommon was picked. If it was the Sentinel of the Eternal Watch, then this guy is going to be fighting me for white the whole time. But still, you take what you can. Taking Leaf Gilder. Maybe we'll get some, all right. What? All right. I'm not going to say pro tip, so I'll say extremely amateur tip. It is never not a good idea to take Sentinel of the Eternal Watch in your first 2 or 3 picks, unless you're passing a huge money card. So I'm definitely taking this card. I mean, it's one of the game breakers in the format, and I just love it, love it, love it. It does kind of work with what I've got so far, because with the Leaf Gilder, I mean, you do want to try to get that out as soon as possible, so a little bit of ramp. It does suck that I'm passing a Topin Freeblade, which is the premium 2-drop, but Sentinel is just too damn good. Alright, this pack, I'm seeing nothing. The green and the white are both terrible. The blue is pretty good in Towergeist, and the Thunderclap Wyvern is really, really good. Normally, I would take the monocolored card over the dual-colored card, but if I'm going to drop a color, it's going to be green right now, not white, because I have 2 white bombs. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Thunderclap. So if I get some big blue flyers coming my way, or in a case like this, Separatist Void Mage coming through, I'm not at all unhappy to start going blue. Again, no white whatsoever in here. Orbs of Warding was the rare, was still there in the pack. It's not worth anything, so I'm not going to take it. I do need to start finding some low drops. And something that I've noticed I tend to be pretty poor at is taking removal. So I do need to try to find some of that. Alright, in here I've got 2 3-drops to choose from. Either Knight of the Pilgrim's Road or Jessian Thief. There's also a good combat trick here in Enshrouding Mist. I'm taking the Jessian Thief. It is the lower powered creature, but it's got prowess for card draw, and that is just very good. Knight of the Pilgrim's Road dies to a whole lot of the 2-drops out there, whereas this is a little more resilient. Okay. What am I looking at here? Not much. Warhorn is okay in a really aggro deck, but I just don't have the curve to warrant that yet. Guardians of Meletis can help you along getting to the late game, so, I mean, it is a potential card to play. But I think I'm going to take the Titanic Growth right now, just because I'm not ruling green out. I haven't seen much green coming, but okay. Mighty Leap is a card. It's a decent combat trick. I would be willing to play that. There's no green. The blue, I just don't like the counter spells in this format, even though they've wrecked me pretty well. So I'm just going to take the Mighty Leap. Okay. Grasp of the Hieromancer is a card. I'm not unhappy to play that. In fact, it's kind of grown on my list of one of my more favorite cards to play. Or, in reality, I should say one of my more overvalued cards. I will play that when I probably shouldn't. But, I mean, just think of all the funs of things like turn 4. Throw Grasp of the Hieromancer onto your Jesse and Thief. It's now a 3/5, and it taps down their blocker. Okay. I've got 3 artifacts here, basically. I could take the creature. It's not a terrible creature, and there are some artifact synergies. Again, I just don't see my deck getting to the point. You want a bunch of little creatures that are just going to swarm. Or this could stall things out. I'm going to take the Automaton. It's a lot more 4-drops than I want right now. In this case, I'm going to take the Rune Servitor. Need to get myself some 2s that I can play. If I do go Blue-White Skies, I want to get this out of the way. And these all suck. So, oof, sure. Alright, yeah, Guardians of Meletis came back. So for a 14th pick, it's a card that could make my deck. I would say I'm definitely looking more blue-white than green-white. But we'll see what I get here. Alright. Exquisite Firecraft, huh? Well, that is a mighty, mighty good card. And it's actually yeah, it's worth red drafting to me. It's a couple tickets, and realistically, I'm not above cutting over into red-white right now. If this wheels, which I can't imagine Eurus' champion would wheel, but Exquisite Firecraft is just fun. So I would be okay taking Celestial Flare, but it's not so good that I'm going to pass that up. Alright, now I'm looking at Vastwood Gorger is so-so. Probably going to take the Knight of the Pilgrim's Road. I do need some 3-drops. Amper Tactician is good, but it's better in a more of a go-wide strategy. And I do really want white to be my primary color. I think green I'm just going to put off to the side. I might take Amper Tactician here, just because, again, I want to stay white. I feel Ringward and Owl is better, especially for us, but I also feel like it might wheel. Okay. Now I'm looking at Scrapskin Drake or Enshrouding Mist. I'm going to take the Enshrouding Mist because I do want the combat tricks, and again, I feel the Drake will wheel. Alright. We take another Grasp. The blue cards in here are fairly terrible. There is Wild Instincts here in green. So right now, in blue, I'm looking at Jesse and Thief, Separatist Void Mage, and Thunderclap Wyvern. In green, I'm looking at Leaf Gilder and Titanic Growth. So my blue is definitely better than my green. But Wild Instincts is definitely better than Grasp of the Hieromancer. We'll see if green just ends up being super open. Alright, there is nothing in this pack for me. I'll hate the trick. But again, if I go into green at some point, if I open an Outland Colossus or a Managorger Hydra or some such, it's definitely worth looking into. Alright, not much for blue, but there's a Knight of the Pilgrim's Road. That's playable. So, I'm up to 14 cards. Not all of them I would be happy to play, though. So, if I take out what I want to play, I'm probably going to take the Akroan Jailer here. You know, I'd love to hate on the Zendikar Incarnate, but I do need to start building a deck. And right now I'm at 12 cards. Yeah. Akroan Jailer gets in my deck. Iroas' champion. Well, I'm taking it. Because nothing else in the deck is playable. Or in the pack. And that card is just very, very strong. Alright. Do I take the Brawler's Plate, which is overcosted? The Gorger. Yeah. Taking the Gorger. I am going to have to scrap something together here. I still kind of want to be blue. Well, these do make me want to throw some red-white in here. So if I pick up a Mage Ring Bully here towards the end, or I'm going to take the Stratus Walk here, just because I do have the Thunderclap Wyvern. Hate on the Artificer. Wow, these are all terrible. Alright, I am really leaning heavily on my bombs here. All of my white's pretty playable except for the Akroan Jailer. Might have to dump my blue and go into green. Alright. Well, that is a pretty good red card. The rare here, Honored Hierarch, just, I don't consider it very good. Stalwart Haven, pretty solid card, and I think it's what I'm going to take. The Fiery Impulse is better removal. I do need some removal, but I know I'm going to play the Haven, so I'm going to take the Haven. Okay. Well, I'll take another Tactician here. Just, if I knew for sure red was going to come around, I would take that, but I'm getting the impression that ship has sailed. It's a bummer to see the Reeve Soul go. I would, again, play the Prickle Boar. But Tactician it is. Be real happy to see another Thunderclap come through. Nope. Okay. This is ridiculous. I'm taking the Fiery Impulse. I may perform a Cardinal Sin or commit a Cardinal Sin here. I may just play 3 colors. There's not a whole lot of fixing in the format, and I have none of it. Alright, what are we looking at here? Nothing, nothing, nothing. So I may take Fairy Miscreant is a terrible card, but so is Aven Battle Priest. If I'm going to take a terrible card, I would rather take one that's a 1-drop. I could take Titan Strength, which is fine. I think that's what I'm going to do. Okay. Stalwart Avon that late, huh? That's definitely my pick. I didn't get any Topin Free Blades. And I'm looking at... Wow. 2 creatures I can play before turn 3. So I need to find me some low drops. None of these are low drops. So I'll take another Mighty Leap. So how's my removal suite looking? I'm looking at Fiery Impulse and Tragic Arrogance. Separatist Void Mage. Exquisite Firecraft. Yeah, and a Crowan Jailer can kind of serve that function. Okay, I'm definitely taking the Bonded Construct here. I just need creatures, and I need them lower on the curve. Aspiring Aeronaut. It's 2 bodies and flyers. So Thunderclap Wyvern can pair up with those. Do need to start cutting here. I think Mighty Leap is going to be one of the cuts. I would love to get a couple more low casting cost creatures. Get myself a better curve going on. And what can I boot up the champion with? Titan Strength, Mighty Leap, Grasp of the Hieromancer. Okay. Well, I could take Auramancer or I could take Infectious Bloodlust. I'm going to take the Bloodlust because I like that enchantment. I've got flyers and I've got the champion. And I think those combo fairly well together. So my cut after that is Crowan Jailer. Alright, well why don't I just take the Hellhound and, you know, go 4 colors. No. Alright, sideboard that. Yeah, this is not looking like it's going to be a very good deck. I should have shown some more discipline, but I'm just a sucker for taking power. And I've got some very powerful cards in here. I wonder what color's open. Well, Scab and the Husk are both extremely powerful. I'm actually more worried about the Husk. More likely to see play. Alright, I will take the Fairy Miscreant. It is a terrible 1-drop that combos with nothing I have. I'm not going to play either of those, but I'll, yeah, sideboard those. Alright. So I'm probably going to... What am I going to cut? Can't really afford to cut any creatures. And looking at things, I am going to swap out the Fairy Miscreant for the Crowan Jailer. Because if I'm going to keep a 1-drop that's not very good, I'd rather have it be one that has more of an impact on the board state. Maybe Stratus... it's kind of between Stratus Walk or Titan Strength, I think. They are the spells that I think do the least. I don't want to get any lower on creatures than I already am. Especially with 2 Tacticians. You want to be heavier on creatures. In fact... yeah, this Guardian Automaton might be coming in. Huh. Reclusive Artificer for 2/3 for 4. No, because at tops I'm dealing 3 damage to a creature. Well, I think I'm going to take out the Stratus Walk first. And then I think I will take out the Titan Strength. That leaves me 1, 2, 3. 3 removal spells. And my color pie is going to look terrible. So, a white with an even spread. If I had mana sinks, I would think about running 18 lands just to try to make that happen better. But I think, so if I'm going 17, I go 8, 5, 4. So 8 white, 5 red, and 4 blue. Do we go 9, 9, 5, 3? Yeah, see, this is just not a good spot to be in. All my blue is turn 3 or 4 stuff. Yeah. I think I'll go 9, 3, 5. Alright, I'm going to submit this and be back when it starts. But, full disclosure, did not do good on this. Going 3 colors is not what you want to do in this format. Alright, see you.